is a strange one with Jesse Lingard, who's not in the squad this evening. Yeah. Jesse Lingard saying, I wanted to be available. Manchester United saying he asked to go away and take a bit more time, presumably because he didn't get a move away in January. This is an odd one, maybe a communication breakdown somewhere.
I think so. You got it right there, communication breakdown. When you've got a player saying that he wants to play, then you've got the manager's come out and said that he wants a break. Now, for me, it just seems really strange for Jesse, somebody that he couldn't hardly make the team here, but we saw how hard he worked himself, go to West Ham and do very well. Somebody he's done well for Man United. The 4 finals they've been in since Sir Alex Ferguson ain't been about. He's played in 4 and scored in 3. Everything about him is he wants to do well for the club. So I can't understand why they've come out and said it. He's had a pile-on from people saying he doesn't want to play for the club. That was a care of duty in that. I think it's been very unfair in respects of what he wants to do, what he's trying to do in respect of maybe he wants to leave the club, he wanted to get a loan move, whatever it is, they denied him the loan move. And in a World Cup year, somebody that if he does well might get himself back in the World Cup. There's a lot of things that it's really kind of gone wrong from both sides if you look at things, because he needs to play. Obviously, he needs to play, and I think he thought that he was going to get to.
And another one, his contract's up in the summer.
Yeah, Jesse missed. He should have gone last summer. End of story. He had his chance. He now played some game, prove what he's about. He's a good player. Went to West Ham, hit the ground running, having not played much football. But I know me and Wright have had discussions. People get bogged down by a player's contract. Hope he want to leave. He want to leave on a free. But you have to play. You have to play the games. And I think he can complain all he wants. Obviously, it's not ideal between the club and Jesse at the moment. Last summer was his opportunity. He should have took it. If he had the chances, I'm sure he might say, well, the club, there wasn't any proper deals on the table. But if he had an opportunity last summer, that was his chance. He literally, at the moment, is just writing the season off. You can't afford to do that if he's got big plans of getting back into the England setup. But having said that, there's an important few months coming up for United. Stranger things have happened. If he can come back in, he's shown before that he's got quality.
Because there's lots for Manchester United to play for. It might have been a bang average season so far, but there's a race for 4th, there's an FA Cup, and of course there's the Champions League as well, Atletico Madrid on the horizon. Yeah. So he needs all the attackers at the moment.
It does need them, and you're looking at a Man United side that if they can start playing, because you've seen a little something with Ralph Rangnick, if they could get it going, they look like they can do something, Man United, because they'll know how to end the season. They'll end the season strong, and I think that they've got a good chance of getting something this season.
There's lots to play for, isn't there? Whatever's happened up till now.
Yeah, no, I think things have settled down for the club, and they've even moved 1 or 2 fringe players on. I think that'll help the group. An important game tonight. Man United home to a championship club. You'd expect them to beat them. As you said, Atletico. I'd fancy United over 2 legs against Atletico. They seem to have just lost their way a little bit and get to that top 4. So it could be a good few months ahead for Man United.
And as well, we talk about Man United. What, 17 years since they've won this? This is, you know, same with thinking of Liverpool, 16 years. It's good to see them put out a good team, because Middlesbrough give them a decent game tonight.
I mean, it's amazing to think that Manchester United won the FA Cup once since you lifted it. No, I mean, you know, you won it 4 times in a decade.
We obviously had a good team, you know, and with some brilliant characters. I go back to it, but it's it's hard to imagine United have gone so long. So that's why it's an important night for them tonight. Put a marker down again.
Yep, and also there's 4 seasons now and counting. This would be the 5th season were they not to win anything without a trophy. Manchester United not to win a trophy in 5 seasons. That hasn't happened since the late 70s, early 80s.
You know, I don't think you'd be able to say that with the players that they've assembled that would happen up to this point. But still, we've seen what's happened with the managers, and still kind of, since Sir Alex is gone, you know, they're still trying to get it going. But they've got the players to do it. Just need the right manager to get them playing right to do it. Man United should be winning. They should be challenging whatever anyone's saying about City and Chelsea and Liverpool. Man United should be challenging them with the players that they've got now. Should be challenging.
Yeah, even then, as you say, when we put the strongest Manchester United team out on paper, it should be a match for anybody, shouldn't it? In England and maybe further afield, particularly with a little bit of tinkering he's done. You like Dalot at right back and so forth.
Yeah, of course he's made like a few changes, but again, you don't win football matches on bits of paper. It's what you do when the referee blows that whistle. And United, again, I go back to they've just not been consistent enough. That's what's costing them. But again, you have to be critical of United. First half, fantastic, but they're playing a championship team. To lose a championship team at home in the cup, obviously not good enough.
Is it unrealistic to expect them to play with that pace for the whole 90 minutes, for the whole 120 minutes? Is that unrealistic?
Yeah, I think it is. But that's where you have a bit of team management. Even when obviously Middlesbrough are always going to have a little bit of pressure in the second half, but you control it. Even United, there, the goal they conceded, they were outnumbered. Players weren't getting back. And that's where I go back to. That's where you need that bit of leadership and character, where you're going, OK, we've dropped off for 10 or 15 minutes, but we're still up against Middlesbrough. We still sit back in and we'll find the moments. But even Fernandes missed there. Like, he has to score. There's no logic to that miss. He's got to hit the target.
I think the way they started the game, they expected to, with the chances that they had, you're not expecting to play at that pace for the whole game. Of course not. But the game should have been finished dead and buried long before that, so you could then ease the way through the game.